Welcome, everybody. If you've been to the stadium a lot, you know that this is the Yankees classic Rain Delay song, which is Bruce Springsteen's Cover Me. And we were rained out earlier, so I thought it was kind of appropriate. Welcome to the Empire 161 show. We're excited to be here on a Sunday night, as it's been our little time slot here. With me, as always, now is Lisa. What is up?
Hey everybody, how you doing? I hope everybody is safe and taking care of themselves on this crazy weather weekend we've been having. Yeah, this song is very appropriate for the experience we've had. Ed and I were supposed to go to the game today, so I know I was very disappointed about not being able to go, but at the same time, I wasn't trying to go outside at all since yesterday. So, but we've got quite a few things to talk about today. We're going to be talking about, if you recall, what seems like 3 years ago, but was only 2 weeks ago, we're going to talk about the Field of Dream game that happened. We're also going to be talking about a few things going on around the majors, including those horrendous uniforms that the Dodgers were wearing this week. We'll get into that in a little bit. I'm looking forward to talking about the newest Yankee, Andrew Velasquez, a little bit, going a little bit deeper on him. Shout out to my Boricua brother. And just a few more things in there, talking about Luke Voigt and his comments. And then he backed up what he said by really showing up this week. He probably had one of his best weeks ever. And we'll talk about the most recent series that we just saw. And it's been really fun to be a Yankee fan since July 6th, I want to say. It's been really, really fun. So we're excited to get into all of that with you all. So welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. And let's take it away.
All right. So, it's definitely been and a little more fun than usual when they go on and a stretch like they've been on right now. I mean, they've been like white hot lately. It's been bananas. Before we get into the Yankees, though, we're going to start off with some notes that we do in TWIB. And TWIB is This Week in Baseball. For you older baseball fans who used to watch that back in the day, it was a nice show hosted by Mel Allen. That was a lot of fun before there was like ESPN and all this other stuff. But the first thing I think we wanted to get into, it's pretty much like a big uniform thing that's going on. So since Nike took over the Major League Baseball contract, they have instituted these like City Connect jerseys. And we've seen a couple of teams debut them to various success. And one of the more traditional teams in baseball, I would say that's a nice way of putting it, right? Like some of them have been horrendous, but Lisa and I both hated the All-Star Game jerseys, and I think a lot of people. But the latest,
I hated the American League All-Star jersey. The National League was okay. The American League was trash.
But this is a whole nother level. So we got the Dodgers who debuted theirs. They wore them. I don't know if they wore them today because I admittedly did not catch any of the Mets-Dodgers game today, but I did catch part of it on Friday and Saturday. So the Dodgers were rocking these Los Dodgers jerseys. You know, they call them City Connect. It's supposed to be connecting with your local fans and fan base and all of this stuff. So I get why the Los Dodgers. But for me, the blue pants are awful. Like, that's what's the killer for me. I don't love the hat either. It looks like there's like too much going on in the hat. Like, it's just a lot. The jersey's cool. I'm good with the jersey. Jersey's cool. Like, it looks like a Dodgers jersey. It's the blue. What are you doing? Why just go with the white pants? And I think it changes everything. I mean, am I right? Or is it just like it's too much? They look like the Tick or something. You know, like it's just crazy.
They look like the Tick. They look like the Smurfs. Like there's just so many things that are blue that make me conjure up visions of. It's just too much of the blue. And I remember it was right after yesterday's Yankee game that like it automatically went to the Mets-Dodgers game. Mm-hmm. So I was watching and then I was like, oh my, like, whoa, what is that? All of that? Like, that is just way too much. And then I saw the hat first. I saw the hat first and I was like, what's on their hat? That's a lot. Oh. And then they like had a clear shot of it and I was like, oh, Los Dodgers. And I was like, that's cool. I like that as a Latina. Yeah. I like that part. I appreciate that. But then when I saw somebody's like full body outfit, I was like, oh my goodness. What's going on?
And I think it was like Max Muncy and Albert Pujols were wearing baseball socks, and they usually wear them high. and they had these white baseball socks that made it look even worse. If that was possible, it was actually worse.
And I'm going to say, for somebody who is in the shape that Albert Pujols is currently in, having that like monochromatic color scheme for him, he needs the white. He needs the white to break it up.
Okay. I think that's fair. I think that's completely fair. Yeah, I don't know. I like I said, I could live with the hat if I had to. I think there's still too much going on. It's just because they spelled out Dodgers. If they would have put like Los and then still just had the regular LA under it, or maybe Los on the side and then LA, something like that. It's just the Dodgers in script, I think, is doing it. It's killing it for me.
Yeah, and again, I agree with you. The jersey itself that's a dope jersey.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I like the red. I like the little pop of red on it. I like the white. You know how I feel about the Yankees, the Nike symbol. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, I know you're not a big fan of it. I think I think give it a couple of seasons and you're not even gonna notice it. It's just gonna blend in and you're gonna be like,
it almost looks like an accent mark on the los, like stressing the O on los, which is not supposed to be stressed there. But
I didn't think of that. That was I can see that now. I can definitely see that. So I think this can tie into something else though, because I was having this discussion yesterday. At least I want to get your opinion on this now. So you have to assume the Yankees are going to have a City Connect jersey at some point. Mm-hmm. Some point, sometime they're going to do it, and that's going to be it. I'm in favor, and this has been something I've wanted for a long time. I know it's not completely traditional, but the Yankees blue and white batting practice jerseys, I want those worn in regular games with like the pinstripe pants or the gray. You don't have to get new pants, just the jersey, just all blue with the white, the NY white numbers, still simple, still kind of classic and clean like the Yankees go with. And that's what they wear in spring training and in batting practice. Lisa, do you think I'm going too far with this? Do you think maybe I should? Do you think it's too much? Just keep it traditional with the two? They're going to give in sooner or later. It's going to happen. So we're going to have to just accept it.
I don't, and I totally wish I knew that you were going to ask me about this ahead of time, because during Yankee camp, when we played away games, we wore that jersey.
Not the Grays. Not the Grays.
No, we wore the blue jersey with the pinstripe pants. So I'm trying to pull up a picture really quickly as we're talking about this, but I don't know if it's gonna come out for me, because with the weather today, my Wi-Fi is just a tad slower. Mm-hmm. And of course, all the pictures I'm pulling up right now are home game pictures. But come on, give me one with it. Well, here's a friend of mine from the team. Hope she doesn't mind me. Never mind. Let me try to find another one. Okay. You can kind of see it in this picture. This is me and two of my teammates with Mickey Rivers. And we're wearing blue jersey. And it looks great.
I think it does.
Great. We loved it. It was super comfortable. It was actually, we were there in January. It's still hot in Tampa in January. So it's actually a little bit cooler than the white home jersey, because that's a very thick, the real true jersey is a very thick material. Yeah. So that blue one, the practice jersey, is a little bit airier, a little bit.
Okay. I was gonna get a screen grab at one point too. And for a closer look, we will bring that up as well if anyone's unfamiliar with it. And I would assume that you most would be familiar with it by now. And I think Lisa, you'll approve of the pick that we're gonna go with. So that is Giancarlo Stanton rocking. It's probably. I'm assuming this is probably from spring training. So this is what it would look like. This is what I'm advocating for. Pinstripe pants with the blue jersey. That's it. City Connect, whatever you want to call it, who cares? At least it's a clean look, and I think nobody would be pissed off about it. Well, actually, no, bullshit. Somebody would be pissed off about it because somebody was pissed off about everything. But
especially the Muppets up above you.
Oh yeah. Stadium. Oh, of course.
Well, right now, I just can't concentrate on anything else. If there could be heart emojis coming at me right now, that's what would be happening.
So, all right, so that's what I'm advocating for City Connect. When it gets around to the Yankees, it's going to happen. So we'll see, or whatever it is. Hopefully, it's something that's cool and not as hideous as the Dodgers City Connector uniform, not the jersey, the uniform.
Yeah.
The jersey was cool. Like if I was a Dodgers fan, I'd probably have the jersey. The hat, well, I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, the hat had too much on it. You know what would be cool for the Yankees too? So if they did that look, and then Aaron Judge commissioned his cleat guy to make some kind of really cool cleats that represent, because you know, city in New York, it's the 5 boroughs. I know you think there's only 4. You only pay attention to 4, but there is a 5th. And there's also a lot of fans in Jersey. I just think that it would be cool if some of the players wore cleats to represent like the different boroughs too. And Long Island, got to shout out Long Island too. That's where I'm from. But I just think that would be cool. And that guy makes the most amazing cleats.
Yeah, no, that guy's really, really cool. He's done a lot of stuff. Yeah, like Lisa said, Judge was rocking some cleats during the week that had the retired numbers on it, which was cool. He also did his Field of Dreams cleats, which is a perfect transition to what else we wanted to touch on, because unfortunately we were not able to do a show last Sunday due to various other circumstances, but we didn't want to forget about the Field of Dreams game that the Yankees played against the White Sox. Not last Thursday, but Thursday before that. The outcome sucked, which was fine. We'll acknowledge it happened. They did lose 8-7 on the Tim Anderson walk-off 2-run homer off of Zach Britton. But I think the overall event was awesome. I mean, the Yanks also had a tremendous comeback in the top half of the 9th inning, which unfortunately is going to be forgotten about because of the ending. 2 2-run homers by Judge and Stanton, and then that'll go in the forgotten memories of people who are the anti-Stanton club. Oh, he never comes up clutch. He never does this. He did come up clutch, but Britton blew it. I mean, Lisa, what did you think of the whole event? Like, from beginning to end, there was a lot of cool stuff. There was a lot of stuff going on. Field, everything.
So I didn't get to watch the whole thing live. I had to go back and watch the beginning when they walked in. I could have done without that myself. I don't know. I guess because they kept showing the promos of them walking out of the cornfield. So when they actually did it for the game itself, I was like, all right. We called it. We said Kevin Costner was going to be there. He was there. I thought, I guess I'm going to admit I've never seen the movie. So I guess he did the same thing in the movie where he was just like looking around. I don't know. I thought that was corny, pun intended. Loved the uniforms. I thought their uniforms were really cool.
The hats were cool too.
The hats were really, I know, the hats were really cool too. I thought, it looked beautiful. The corn maze looked really cool. I'm excited when we could bring baseball to anywhere where, they're probably just used to college ball there, if that, and I'm sure football supersedes it in Idaho. But I don't know. Iowa, excuse me, Iowa. Sorry. I just thought it was cool overall. Could have done without a couple of things. Tim Anderson really blew the wind out of our sails. So
yeah. I loved it. I loved the whole the build up for it. I did like the players coming out of the cornfields because it's very reminiscent of the movie. Which, Lisa, I'm gonna talk about it in a second. But do you think you could watch the movie this week?
This week,
all right. I don't know what it is. One of these weeks, you're gonna watch the movie, and I want to hear your review. I want to hear your review of the movie, and I want to. We'll get around to it because I'd
much rather watch Sandlot for like the 1,000th time. But
I love the Sandlot. Tim and I did a top 5 baseball movies, and I admit at the time I had not seen Field of Dreams in a while. I was kind of shitting on it a little bit, and then after the show, Grogan was on that show too with us. So it was the 3 of us doing that segment, and they were giving me some crap. Like I got some stuff for it, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go rewatch the movie because I haven't seen it at that time in I don't know how long. And I did have a whole new appreciation for the movie when I saw it as an adult. As a kid, I'm like, whatever. Okay, it's baseball. I get it. It was just there were other movies. I still like. It's still not my number one. It's not. I still have Major League 61. That was an HBO movie. Billy Crystal, love 61. League of Their Own is a great baseball movie. I had 42 in my top 5 also. I may have had Field of Dreams at 5, but Sandlot is another baseball movie that I absolutely adore as well. So
yeah, I've watched all of those except for Field of Dreams.
That's what I'm saying. I think as someone who kind of felt kind of the same way, I think you should watch it, and I'm curious to see where it lands with you. So we'll revisit that in a couple of weeks when we can.
Okay.
But overall, I thought it was a huge win for baseball. It was the most highly watched regular season game in 16 years. So that tells you the interest was there.
Absolutely, I saw that.
Yeah, the interest was there. And anything that baseball can get for a positive buzz around it, because unfortunately, last some years, it's like, oh, the sticky stuff is the headline, or back when during the steroid era, that was it. Like baseball was taking a lot of bumps over the years, but this was something that was a huge win. I think they executed it perfectly. Having Kevin Costner throw out the first pitch, the players coming out of the cornfields, the design of the field, everything like that. I wouldn't be shocked if they added more seats to it. I don't think they'll ever get to like 40,000 or anything like that, but there's only 7,000 seats right now. If they went to like 14,000 seats, I can kind of see that, where they still have the visual of, the like the light, the stadium in the middle of nowhere in Iowa and stuff. I think as long as they can maintain that, that would be, that's kind of what they're striving for. And I know they already announced there will be another one next year with the Chicago Cubs and the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, the Reds are in the wild card hunt right now. The Cubs are rebuilding, as we know, because we snatched up Rizzo from them during this. So we'll see. If the game is competitive and stuff, I think that'll be the key to attracting eyeballs to it. But having the Cubs in it, the Cubs have a national following just like the Yankees. So I think that's a smart move by baseball.
I agree.
All right, so let's get into some Yankees baseball. What's up?
Regarding TWIB, should we keep talking about uniforms? Because I do.
Oh yes. I'm sorry. Yes, there's one other uniform thing that we kind of skipped over. So Lisa, go ahead. I know this has been really grinding your gears for a little while, so go ahead.
This has definitely been grinding my gears for a while, and I think the person who set me over the edge was probably Eloy Jimenez, because I don't understand. There is only one player who looks great.
Oh, Jesus.
And you know who that is. Everybody else, though, looks ridiculous.
Well, who about Luke Voigt? Luke Voigt has...
No. Even Luke Voigt gets my wrath on this. Wow. I don't understand why all these players are unbuttoning their jerseys as far as they are. I swear Eloy Jimenez only had like the belly button and the one right above it button that day. I mean, it was insane. And now Rudner Odor, our boy Rough Odor, I noticed he tucks his shirt in, and he usually has another shirt under it, but the last couple of games, he wasn't even wearing a shirt under it. It was just skin.
Blame Luke Voigt. He's the one with no undershirt.
Luke Voigt, all right. I get Luke Voigt. I will say this. I get Luke Voigt. Luke Voigt is like husky built, right?
Yeah.
So, and the shirt looks like he got like a size too small for himself, and that's what he prefers. So he probably feels like it's choking him here. I get that. I do get that one. It doesn't look good, but I get it. I think, and there's bias around it, but like Giancarlo Stanton's just seems a little bit more subtle compared to other people's. Luke Voigt's isn't as out there. Rugnet Odor's 100% is the guy tucks the thing in. And Eloy Jimenez and Jose Abreu from the White Sox, they had theirs just like to the extreme. It was ridiculous. Even Carlos Hernandez, the pitcher for the Royals, had his unbuttoned too. Yes, I started clocking and writing down names. Like I'm pulling you all out.
Lisa is taking names now.
I am the uniform police when it comes to the button. You know, I feel like I'm right there with my mom, who has a problem with the facial hair on a lot of players and tattoos on players. That part, those don't bother me, Mom. Sorry, that's just you. But the button unbutton, I don't know. I'm all about like a clean look with the jersey. And when you have the shirt, like it looks like it's halfway off of you, that's just ridiculous. That, and when what was the guy's name? I can picture his face and I'm blanking on his name. He was a Yankee and a Red Sox. that his helmet always used to fly off. Like he would knock it off on purpose.
Eduardo Nunez.
Yes, that
Yes.
too. Like that. Just get a helmet that fits. Get a shirt that fits. I know from being in Yankees camp, they are very accommodating to you. So if your pants don't fit the way they did the year before, they'll get you a correct pair of pants very quickly. They have a lot of them. They have a lot of jerseys. So Luke, I mean, instead of going for the large, you probably really maybe you're a double XL. Just get the XL instead, because the large on you looks real tight and crazy, and you have to have it unbuttoned. That's why.
I will say one thing with Luke Voigt's thing. It makes me. It's actually really funny, and I've kind of just adopted it. It used to bother me at first, and it would annoy me, especially the fact that he's wearing an arm sleeve too. So he has the sleeve there, but yet there's no undershirt. If this dude can keep hitting like he did this week, wear whatever the hell you want.
Yeah,
knock
he can
yourself
really
out,
do whatever
kiddo.
he wants.
Yeah,
but everybody else, get it together.
So I'm with you on that, and I think Jimenez it was the one really pushing the issue, where it was like midway through. He's on one of my fantasy teams, so if he can keep on performing like that, he can do whatever he wants with his jersey. But that's it's pretty outrageous. When David Wells was on the Yankees, he used to have the top 2 unbuttoned, so it was just like a small flap. And I admittedly, when I used to wear jerseys to games all the time, I started doing the same thing, and that was about it. That's as far as it went. Now, what you're talking about is these guys that are like mid chest.
No, it's like Saturday Night Fever on the field or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what though? On the flip side, the one person who should probably wear it unbuttoned doesn't, and wears it all the way up and wears a turtleneck every game, Aroldis Chapman. Like, my friend, I just want to run up to you every, and I get it. Listen, I am a person who gets very sweaty and glistening during games too. It's very unfortunate. It's just a gene. Like, I could sweat in a snowstorm. It's unfortunate. But like, Aroldis Chapman, I just want to run up to you and be like, "Let me get you, friend. Let me get you."
He's sweating from the bill of his cap.
Oh my God, I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad as him. But like, dude, take the turtleneck off. Maybe, just maybe, in the middle of August, you shouldn't wear a turtleneck.
He wants that Cuban heat. That's what it is. He wants it like really extra.
Listen, I'm not from. I was born here, but like, yeah, I got that Puerto Rican flavor and fire. You don't need to add to it, Mr. Cuban Missile. You don't. You got that name.
I'm trying to help him out. I'm just trying to help him out. It's completely absurd. I'm with you 100%. It is absurd. You don't need a turtleneck when it's 95 degrees out in July in New York. We already know it's humid enough. So, we got anything else with uniforms before we get on to some jolly times over the week?
No, this is just the warning shot for all the guys. I will be calling you out.
I love it. I like it. You feel better. You feel better that it's been. You've got it off. You got off your chest now. You got to say it.
I got it.
All right.
I had to.
All right. When Jerry was doing a couple of shows earlier, his was the chains. He had an issue. He had to go off on a tirade about chains.
That's a whole nother episode. And Jerry's welcome to join us. We could revisit that together, because you know that I have a problem with that. There was one player in one of the teams that I could see the lock on his chain shining in the sun, and it was just one of 3, and it was the biggest chain lock I've ever seen in my life. The clasp. And I was like, how do they not call that as a distraction? We were sitting in the Pepsi lounge, and you said that they had an alternate
screen.
Another screen to block the glare.
Yes.
And yet pitchers are on the mound with like 3 chains all blinging in the sun, and they don't get called on it. So Jerry, come join us and let's have that conversation again, because I wasn't here the first time. I'm with you, Jerry.
I'll bring him right back. Angie's going. It's becoming a thing. Angie's it's on her shit list now too. It's getting around now. People are not happy with this.
It's ridiculous.
Chain situation. All right, so let's talk about some things that we are happy about, and that is the now red hot, scorching hot New York Yankees. We'll get to the part of the winning streak actually did start right after the Field of Dreams game when they picked up 2 wins against the White Sox. Lisa had a comment she wanted to make about Guaranteed Rate Field, which is where that series against the White Sox moved on to. I
mean, my only comment is why.
Anyone who will pay up.
No, there you have to have more. Like you have to have more principle than like I'm just taking that name because of the money. Guaranteed Rate Park. That is so garbage.
So you're not prepared for like Cottonelle Field or like
No,
Huggies maybe
no,
Huggies Stadium.
no.
Okay, I'm
It's
trying to think.
it's
Mountain Dew.
no, none of those. Like it's just too many. Like come on. Oh, meet me at the game. Oh, where is it? There's two stadiums in Chicago, right? So there. Oh, which game you going to? The one at Guarantee Rate Park. I mean, yeah, sure, you could say the White Sox game,
Meet
but
me at the
like, come
rate.
on,
Meet me at the rate.
so bad, so bad. Tropicana Field, I get it. You're in
The Trop.
Florida, orange juice, the Trop, get it.
Yeah, they call it the
That
Trop.
makes sense. That's a cool name. I like that. Like even Target Field. Target Field is short, it's easy to say, but it's like that's dumb too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just hope the Yankees never sell out like that. They have more than enough. You and I were talking about this at a game recently. More than enough sponsors that you could see all over the damn field. Even Visit
Yes.
Mexico is there. Like, come on.
Well,
You have plenty of sponsors showing in the field. You don't need to call the field something else. That's just ridiculous.
the reason why I'm
Guaranteed.
confident that the Yankees won't ever do it is because their their brand is more recognizable than anything that they could sell the name to.
So you're telling me that guaranteed rate loans is more recognizable
Oh
than
no
the
no no no.
Chicago
But
White Sox?
no. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that the Yankees have not done it, so they will not do it. The White Sox have been selling their name. They don't care. It's not a thing for them.
Oh
It
man,
was
White Sox.
Comiskey. It was Comiskey Park at one point. Then it was U.S. Cellular Park, which when I had gone to it, it was U.S. Cellular, and they used to call it the Cell. People there were like, the Cell. So they kind of just went with it. And I think if City Fields, City, I guess. I don't know. I mean, Farachi, if you were to happen to be checking us out, you can tell me what Met fans maybe refer to City Field as besides City Field if there's another name for it. I don't know. We call Yankee Stadium the stadium. Just meet me at the stadium. That's it.
Yeah, I still every now and then say Shay. Oops, City. Like I still do that.
Really? I don't know. I've got used to the
I
city.
mean,
I mean,
I
whatever.
don't talk about the Mets that much
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
So. But no, I mean, just going back to Guaranteed Rate Park, like even Michael Kay said it. I think I forgot who it was. Somebody hit a home run, and he was like, "Oh, it was probably Aaron Judge," and he was like, "Uh, a beautiful hit in Guaranteed Rate Park, not a beautiful name." And I was like, "Yes, thank you." Like it's a terrible name.
It's not a great
Speaking
name.
of just Judge, I do want to add at that game, it was game two on August 14th. Aaron Judge surpassed Reggie Jackson by hitting his 145th home run. So he is now 31st. He was at the time, I think he still is 31st overall on the Yankees all-time list behind Bob Musell. So I thought that was pretty cool, and he did it in 526 games. He had a really great game that day.
Pretty impressive. No, Judge has been on the tear himself as well.
Yeah.
All right, so let's pick it up. We got last Monday when they had a makeup game against the Angels, which Garrett Cole made his return, a triumphant return again off the COVID-19 IL list. Cole picked up his 11th win of the season, pushing his record to 11-6. He went 5 2/3. You had to figure the Yanks weren't going to go crazy and push him, being that the guy just had COVID and stuff. So, again, it was still effective, but he wasn't going to go too deep into the game. 2 hits, a walk, 1 earned run, 9 Ks. Chad Green picked up his 4th save of the season, going 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 Ks, and all the Yankees' offense was Joey Gallo, who had a 2-run homer.
It.
Yeah, that's literally it. 2-1. Yeah, boom. That's it. Shut it off. Game over. It's a wrap. 29th homer of the year, and Judge was 2 for 3 with a run scored. That was it was, and they had Ohtani was 0 for 4 in that game as well. So they had kind of had him locked down and everything. The Angels aren't having a great season, but Yanks got to play and beat whoever is on the schedule.
Yeah, and they did. And I just want to say one thing about Joey Gallo. So I know you and I have had a couple of conversations about him and his movement in the batter's box and everything. And so I did a little digging because I noticed some things that kind of like threw up my social worker hat for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked it up, and he has Tourette syndrome.
Does he
So
really?
yeah, those facial tics and the
Oh,
the movements that he does are one of the side effects of having it. So
oh
I
wow,
think
I
it's
had no
really cool
idea.
that he's apparently named it in the past. It was probably when he was in Texas. And I just think it's great to see, players who have disabilities or symptoms or things that are very common, being on such a public stage and being able to, name that for others who experience those things and maybe think that they could never get to that, stage in life. However people feel about our current president, he had a stuttering problem and still, still does every now and then. And I know a few people who stutter, and I know how much it meant to them to see that we have a president who has that affliction as well. So just want to say that I noticed it, and I appreciate Joey Gallo for being in the spotlight and um, naming it for himself and normalizing it for others too. Just whether he meant to do that or not, that's how other
No,
people, I'm sure, are taking it. So as somebody who notices these kinds of things because of my profession, I just wanted to say it on here and say, like, that's awesome. I think that's really great.
no, that's outstanding. I mean, he's persevering through anything that he might be dealing with.
Yeah.
We got a couple of quick notes from comments here from Mike Domino. Mike, thanks for tuning in. Yanks have been killing it lately. Watch out, MLB. You better believe it, Mikey. And then another
Oh,
thing.
your second comment breaks Ed's heart.
So I think the Yanks re-signed Gallo at the end of the year, but let Rizzo walk. All right. Well, Mike, Gallo is signed through next season already, so the Yanks do not have to re-sign him after the season, so they're good to go. It'll be after next season, and they'll have to make that decision whether to bring him back or not. As far as the letting Rizzo walk thing goes, I mean, I'm obviously, like Lisa said, I am not of that belief whatsoever because, I mean, he's an overall superior player to Luke Voigt, especially defensively. I mean, Luke Voigt's having I mean, it's not even remotely close. And I think that's something that I've said on here before. His defense alone is already worth it, whatever his contract's going to be, because Gleyber Torres, I don't see him ever being a gold glove type shortstop, but I think he could be one who would be able to, be sufficient enough at shortstop to get it done. Gio's great at third base. DJ LeMahieu at second base. But I just think it's too invaluable. And I see you have a comment here too. No, I don't think so. Rizzo is not. I'd be the first one to tell you, Rizzo is not the superstar like every year All-Star that he was a couple of years ago. He's not. He's 31 years old. He's still in the tail end of his prime here. I don't think he demands a huge contract. He actually took less money when he was with the Cubs to stay with the Cubs at the time. So he seems to be very much of a team guy. I think if he's enjoying his time with the Yanks, he's enjoying his teammates, he's comfortable playing here, I could see him taking a contract similar to what like DJ LeMahieu got. And what DJ got is not a massive superstar contract by any stretch of the imagination. And if that's what they have to go for, then I think the Yanks can give him like, a 4 or 5 year deal, for a reasonable price. So, we'll see. Mike's going to keep it going out since we're on the subject. I was at a game here in Florida and was sitting in right field and asked Judge how many outs there were, and he told me, LOL, I miss going to Yankee Stadium so much. Okay, I hope he didn't say LOL, because when people speak Twitter or speak that, it drives me completely out of my mind. All right, so let's keep it.
Yeah, I just have two fun facts about that particular game, and it's not even the game, it's actually the date. August 16th, 1948 was the day that Babe Ruth passed away, and he was 53 when that happened.
Wow.
Yeah, Paul O'Neill brought it up and was like, I'm incredulous. He was only 53. And then David Cohn said something about it was quality, not quantity for him. Which really, I mean, he did a lot in his 53 years. So absolutely. And then in 2006, August 16th was the day of the groundbreaking for the new stadium.
Wow, I remember that being on TV. I remember seeing that locally with George and everyone else kind of like standing around, with the whole shovel and stuff. They put in like a quarter of the way, and then that's it. That's the ceremony. Yep. Everyone's got hard hats on for whatever reason that is. It's always kind of goofy, but that's awesome. I do have a note here too that I grabbed from Stats by Stats on Twitter. So at the time, the Yankees beat the White Sox on Sunday and the Angels on Monday, and they will go on to beat the Red Sox on Tuesday and the Red Sox on Wednesday, and now the Twins. They ended up being the first American League team in history to win 6 games against 4 different teams on a span of 5 days. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. I was going to save it for later, but I kind of came across it and was like, let's just go with it, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so then we will get into those wins against the Red Sox. On Tuesday, there was a doubleheader. The awesome 7-inning games. Yeah, so they had the makeup game from a couple weeks ago. Oh, my God, I completely despise them. But Jordan Montgomery made his return from the COVID IL, going 4 2/3, which is solid for his 7-inning game. 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks, and a resurgent Albert Abreu has become a massive part of the Yankees bullpen lately. I did not see that one coming at all. But he picked up the win in that game to go 2-0. He recorded 1 out to get that win.
You love those 1-out wins.
That's it. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. You get 1 out, boom, that's it. We get a win, and you keep it moving. But the madness.
Go ahead.
The madness of this game was the 7th inning, which was
that's exactly what I was about.
Oh, yeah, AKA the 9th inning, when Jonathan Loaizaga picked up his 5th save of the year. Dude, I was in the car listening to that actually on the radio because I was driving to one of my softball games, and I was wondering if I was going to crash the car at some point by listening to how ridiculous that was. So Loaizaga loads up the bases, with a walk and a couple of hits here, and then he manages to strike out the side to get out of it.
I mean, he just likes the drama, I guess, because you were going to crash the car. I was screaming at the television. Like, what are you doing? Just get out of this inning somehow, please. Yeah.
And then strikes out the side, though. I imagined he was going to get out of it, like giving up at least 1 run, because he gave up none. I thought he was going to give up at least 1 run or something, and I figured it would end on a double play. No. He ends up striking out the side, which is great in fantastic fashion, but we've had enough of these, like, Tums, acid reflux relief games that we need Rolaids in the 9th inning this year. But that was a pretty wild one. That was his 2nd inning of work at the time. He gave up 3 hits and 3 strikeouts. Luke Voit was 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. His RBIs came on a blue single with the bases loaded. Ruff Oder was 2 for 2 with a run scored. Giancarlo Stanton, who pinch hit for him, had a big RBI single. I believe that was in the 6th inning. And Andrew Velasquez, who we will get into a little bit later, was 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And Tyler Wade, who I know I've said cannot hit his way out of a wet paper bag, was 2 for 2.
Tyler Wade's been finding his way out of that wet paper bag recently.
I will be the first one to admit it. He's definitely ripped open that paper bag. It's soaked and it doesn't matter. He's out of it. He's looking around. He's like, holy shit, I am finally here. No, I'm glad. He's getting the playing time. I mean, he's been bouncing around and stuff like that. So, I'm glad for him. These are situations I want to be proven wrong. I really want to be proven wrong. Not like the Anthony Rizzo getting re-signed situation. That cannot happen. That would be a pretty angry time over here. But Yanks took the nightcap, sweeping the doubleheader from the Red Sox. And Luis Heel started the game, and he went 4 2/3, giving up 3 hits, 4 walks, 3 Ks. So not his best performance with the walks there, but the kid is not giving up runs. I mean, he's just not giving up runs.
He is the only major league pitcher since 1901 to have 0 runs and 15 or more strikeouts in their first 3 starts. I do want to give a special shout out, though. I believe it was Wandy Peralta who helped him out because he almost broke that streak, but then Wandy came to the rescue and got that last runner of his that he was responsible for. He prevented the guy from scoring. And you saw it because after the inning, he went to the dugout and all you saw was Luis Gil smother him. It was very cute, actually, how hyped he was.
And speaking of Wandy Peralta, by the way, so he picked up the win for his 4th win of the year to go 4 2. He pitched an inning in the 3rd. giving up 2 hits. Chad Green got the save, his 5th of the year. Before we get to the offense, though, that play by Wandy Peralta, I don't know if you saw that, when he had to bounce off the mound and he went ahead and barehanded and gunned the guy out at first. That was like one of the plays of the year. That is an incredibly difficult play.
Yes, it is.
That was unbelievable, man. He just came up through the strike, didn't even look. Bang, bang. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
DJ LeMahieu was 2 for 3. Giancarlo Stanton hit his 19th homer of the year. Luke Voigt hit his 6th homer of the year. And Aaron Judge was 1 for 3 with his 4th stolen base of the year. So the Yanks are continuing to roll out the diversified offense. We're not just sitting around and waiting for 3-run homers to happen, even though in this game, ironically, the only ones they scored were 2 solo homers. But that just hasn't been the case every single game. When your pitching's pitching the way they are, you can get away with that here and there. But the Yanks did complete the actual series sweep of the Red Sox for the 3-game sweep on Wednesday night, taking that one 5-2. The Heen Dog, Andrew Heaney, picked up his 6th win of the season. Yes, I was not going to let that one go. He actually pitched seven innings, which was I'm pretty sure he's only done that like once or twice this entire season.
I know.
Even dating back to his Angels days. That dude just gives up way too many homers. But he made sure he did give up a solo homer to Xander Bogaerts earlier in the game, who, by the way, decided to mock the Yankees with their
thing. Oh my God, how disrespectful was that? I think I texted you and I was like, how rude.
What a douche. And he got exactly what he deserved because they ended up losing the game 5-2.
Yeah.
But Heen Dog only gave up 1 earned run and 2 walks with 4 Ks. Lucas Lipke got his first save of the season. So to close out this game, Boone did go to Chapman. He let him go 20 pitches, but Chapman was clearly off. He just came off the IL, didn't have COVID this time, but he was dealing with some elbow soreness. They weren't trying to push him. But kudos to Boone for going to Lipke in that situation because a lot of times, a lot of managers probably would have stuck with him, and then we don't know what would have happened. I mean, but these games are too important right now to let it slip, so you got to do what you got to do. We actually haven't seen Chapman since. But Anthony Rizzo was 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Gary Sanchez was 2 for 4 with a double and 2 runs scored. And that guy, Andrew Velasquez, Andy, was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. No. Andy Vasquez? No. Andy V? Andy V from the Bronx? No? Okay. 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. The Yanks offense was 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position. A welcome turnaround from events that we saw earlier in the year where they would be 0 for 17 or 0 for 15 with runners in scoring position. And we were pounding our heads into our desks or walls or whatever the hell you were pounding your head into. It was maddening, but it is starting to slowly but surely come around.
Yes, and before we move on to the next series, I have to call out a friend of mine who always likes to all of a sudden make little comments on my pages during Yankee Boston series. So Chris Ross, all I gotta say is LOL to you, bro, because you were talking mad junk when the beginning of the series happened, and you were like, let's see what happens now. Well, this is what happened, my friend. We jumped over y'all in the standings. Sorry, not sorry. So that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Stop trolling my page. I love you, Chris, but I always gotta talk smack.
So the Yanks went ahead and after sweeping the Sox out of town, they welcomed in the Twins, who never have a good time facing the Yankees.
Never.
I mean, they're like 130-something and 38 since like 2002. I forgot to write down the exact number, but it is something crazy like that. They own. It is the best record of any one MLB team versus another over that span of time. It is bonkers. The Yanks took that one 7-5, a game that the Yanks were kind of cruising along, and then things started getting a little bit more interesting than they needed to be. Jameson Taillon, who did pick up the win for his 8th of the year, went 5 1/3 with 5 hits, 3 earned runs, and 5 Ks. But he was lights out for those first 5 innings. And then once the 6th inning started, the wheels just came off. I mean, he gave up a homer, double here, double there. I'm like, what the hell? It happened in like a blink of an eye.
Yeah, up until Jay Cave's home run in the 6th, Taillon had retired 14 batters straight. He was looking ridiculous during that game up until then. So it's a shame. Yeah. But hey, I mean, Can we talk about him again? Because here he goes again, Andrew Velasquez. Oh
Oh, we're
my
definitely
goodness.
gonna get into. We're definitely gonna get into this one. Yeah. Well, let me. Chad Green got his sixth save of the season. Going one inning with one hit and one earned run, 2 Ks. Luke Voigt was 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a double. Stanton hit his 20th homer of the year. Higgy was 2 for 3 with his 8th homer of the year, driving in 3 and 2 runs scored. And that guy, Andrew Velasquez, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and his second stolen base of the season of his career.
Yes. So I know that we have another big thing to announce for him in the next game, but I just have to say, I just want to talk about him a little bit. So I think one of the coolest things is that he is literally, when we say homegrown, homegrown. The guy lives in the Bronx. When he was a young boy, there's a picture of him and he would say all the time, I'm going to be the shortstop for the New York Yankees. I'm going to be the shortstop for the New York Yankees. Um, and to say that, knowing that Derek Jeter was the shortstop probably while he was growing up, I mean, that's really impressive, right? Because nobody could think past Jeter for, at all for the longest time. So to have that vision and to work hard for it and to finally get to the place where, yeah, you are currently the shortstop for the New York Yankees. And I don't know how long it'll last. I don't know what they're gonna do when Gleyber Torres' finger is all healed up. But right now I am loving the excitement, the pure joy and elation that he is showing by playing every day, seeing his family in the stands and how emotional they've been getting every time he gets up. I mean, he had a stand-up triple. Do you know how hard that is? It's hard to get a triple in general and a stand-up triple where I think he slid, but they were like, he didn't even have to. Like, I mean, this guy, when I think about how much I love baseball, like he shows it he shows the love that I experience baseball the same way he's showing it. Like, I just love it. And you could see he loves it too. And to do that literally right at home, the guy stays with his parents during home series because he said an apartment in the city would cost too much and he gets home cooked meals and his laundry done by his mom. How cute is that?
You ain't
You
wrong.
are not wrong about that. I would totally stay with my parents if I was on the Yankees. I just think it's adorable. I love the energy and I was so excited to talk about him. So excited about how well he did in general and over the last 7 or 8 games. And I don't know. I just hope the Yankees, stay with him for a while. I know he's been on a couple of teams, but this seems to be a really good fit, energy wise, his speed, just everything. And he made a couple great plays too.
No, he's been great defensively as well. No, he's definitely bringing everything that the Yanks have had. He is kind of filling that spot that we talked about with Greg Allen. When Greg Allen was on the roster, Vasquez is kind of bringing that same type of energy. So it's been great to see. And you're right. There's going to be – well, listen, let's hope that there is a tough decision for the Yankees to make when Gleyber comes back, because when he does come back, that means if it's a tough decision, that means Velasquez has been playing great the entire time. He didn't kind of like fade away after a week or two, and that's it. So we hope it is a tough decision, and those are the good tough decisions that every manager wants when you have too many good players.
Yeah, and for everybody tuning in, I'm gonna investigate it, but he goes by Squid. I don't know why. I'm gonna find out. But his family was holding up a sign that said Squid Squad, and his Instagram handle is Squid_04, no, Squid_4. So I'm gonna investigate what Squid's about.
Interesting. All right, so hopefully we'll have that for next week. The squid investigation. But the Yanks did go ahead and they rolled on DJ LeMahieu bobblehead night. On Friday night, which Lisa and I were at. And we were successful in getting our bobbleheads. And Lisa actually got 2 of them.
I won't say how because I might get incriminated.
Yes. Hey, no, listen. That's fair game. Totally fair game.
Okay, so then I will share it. So we get our bobbleheads. We got there very, very early. And we got our bobbleheads the legit way. And then as we were going to the seats after eating something in the Pepsi Lounge, I went to use the ladies' room. As I'm going to wash my hands, there's a bobblehead on the floor in its box. And I'm like, so being a nice person, I was washing my hands and I waited because there was somebody in the stall directly across from where the bobblehead was. I said, maybe she just put it down and she's gonna come out, wash her hands, and grab the doll. Girl didn't even look at the doll when she washed her hands. She left. I checked that out. Nobody else in any stalls nearby. That became my second bobblehead. So I hope he's not watching. I don't think he is, but a certain nephew of mine who does promos for us will be getting a DJ LeMahieu bobblehead doll the next time I see him. And
Spoiler alert.
I think it's gonna make his day because from what I understand, DJ LeMahieu is one of his favorites. So once again, I am going for the Titi of the Year award. I've gotten it every year straight for the last 11 years with him, or almost 11 years with him. I'm not trying to break that streak.
I like it. Listen, you're better than me because I found a Ron Guidry bobblehead doll years ago on the sidewalk across the street from the stadium, and I was running across the street to try to like get through. So thinking the light just turned green.
You were dodging traffic.
Oh yeah, it was like Frogger, like George Costanza, like crossing the street in Frogger. I went ahead, hand went down, and I just snatched it off the floor and kept on going. I was like, nope, this is it. And I already had one, and it wasn't like a whole thing. I had one, so whatever. I didn't check around for shit. I wasn't trying to do anything. That was my bobblehead. No, that's it. Fair game. You leave that shit in the ground and you go. Not unless if you're in the seats and you're going to the bathroom or the concession, that's different. No, then you're being a douche if you're going ahead and doing it. But
like we
if you
suspect
leave
that
it,
kid was doing, like
oh
that
yes,
kid.
no, that kid was definitely on some shit. Because
and also, don't get me wrong, if it was Giancarlo Stanton, I'd be swiping them while people went and got popcorn. That's different.
No, that's all right. Okay, all right. I mean, that works too. But with the game, it was a blowout. The Yanks did go ahead and smack the Twins around.
We had so much fun.
We did. No, we had a great time in that game. Nestor Cortez picked up his second win of the season, going 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 Ks. That was the first time in his career he has thrown a pitch in the 7th inning.
And I'm sorry, can you please call him by the appropriate name? It is Nasty
Nestor. Yes, and if they
show some respect.
Props to RotoWare as always because I'm a huge fan of theirs.
They
got a shirt on that has them like Super Mario and it says Nasty Nestor. I will see how long I can hold out of not getting that shirt. It just looks like they're all blue. It's very difficult.
Did you see all of the Yankees pitching staff wearing it?
Loved it.
The pictures?
Absolutely loved it.
Oh my God, that was great.
But DJ LeMahieu on his bobblehead night was 2 for 4 with his 8th homer of the year, 3 runs scored and a walk. Aaron Judge hit his 27th homer of the year, which was a 2-run homer. So he had 2 RBIs. But the monster of the game was Luke Voigt. He was 4 for 5, 7th homer of the year, 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored, a double. I mean, I was really hoping he was going to get that triple in the last time, but unfortunately popped up. Gardy was 2 for 2. Yanks offense, 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position. When you start doing those kind of things, you are going to win ball games as they have.
Yeah.
And then the last game before today's rain out, the Yanks had smoked the Twins again, 7-1. Garrett Cole picked up his 12th win of the year, going 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 walk, 6 Ks. He got into some trouble here and there. He had to work his way around and get out of, but all good in the end. Giancarlo Stanton was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a double and a run scored. Luke Voigt continued his mashing, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a double. Tyler Wade, 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored out of the wet paper bag. And Andrew Velasquez hit his first homer of the season of his career.
Oh my gosh. That was just a teary-eyed moment. I mean, even the coldest of hearts had to feel a little bit warmer watching him run around the bases and his family crying.
Yeah, no, that was a pretty awesome moment.
And I really truly hope that the person that caught that they were able to make a deal with them so that he could get the ball because it was his first major league home run. He did it at Yankee Stadium. He did it in his literal hometown in the Bronx. I just know that all the Bronx residents were going crazy. I mean, I was going crazy. I'm not even a Bronx resident. I just thought it was a beautiful baseball moment.
No, it absolutely was. And a note on Stanton, though, which I wanted to make, it's here. Giancarlo Stanton is hitting .301 with 4 home runs and 15 RBIs in 22 games since the very first time he played the outfield this year on July 30th. So, listen, maybe DHing isn't for everybody, Maybe, that's why. I don't know. I mean, again, I also think he gets the shit end of the stick from some fans in general because they just look at the salary and automatically, oh, he should hit 70 home runs a year, blah, blah, blah. It's like the video game numbers, that's what they're expecting. But I don't know. Maybe Yanks got something here with this lineup. Oh, actually, yeah, the Luke Voigt referred to it as the goal line package when they went with Judge in center, Stanton in right, and Gallo in left, and Luke Voigt was the DH, and Rizzo was the first baseman. I mean, that is some big boys that you got there. That's not the time you want to get into a team fight with the Yankees or play a basketball game for that matter. You don't want to do either one because they're going to smack you around.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the Yanks do got something here with Stanton. I don't think they can go to that lineup every single game because as great as an outfielder as Judge is, he's not really a center fielder, in my opinion. He's an outstanding right fielder. But you can get, like, if they're going up against a lefty starter, roll him out there. Go ahead. Let's go. Big man outfield. Let's do it. But Gardner's also hit enough, and he still plays good defense to earn his way to keep playing center field. So, again, it's a nice problem to have where you have all these good players now. And I know Luke Voigt earlier in the week had spoken up and said, hey, listen, I deserve to – I'm not going to quote him, but I deserve to play as much as Rizzo does. I'm a pretty damn good player too. I was in the top 5 in AL MVP voting last year. Like pretty much just saying, hey, listen, guys, remember me. I'm not a scrub. I'm having a tough season. I've been dealing with a lot of injuries. And that's fine. Some fans took it as, oh, he was crying or complaining or mixing or stirring the pot and stuff like that. No, not at all. He's just saying, hey, listen, I'm confident in my ability too. I shouldn't just be kind of like thrown to the bench. And I'm going to prove it. And he backed it up.
Yeah, he did.
This week. After those comments, he went on fire. So he's absolutely earned his way into the lineup. I would have it long term. I have a tough time believing that Voigt and Rizzo will coexist on the team. But, that will take care of that in the offseason. But for now, screw it. Roll out that goal line package and keep going with it, man. All right. So is any other topics for the week we wanted to? Oh, no, Andrew Velasquez. Go ahead. You got any other no other interesting factoids or anything?
Not yet. When I do my deep dive on the squid inquiry, I will I'll find some other fun facts about him too.
All right. All right. So then the Yanks are about to. Their homestand is over since today's game was rained out. So Lisa, you want to bring us the what we can preview of?
Yeah, it's very short. Very short. So our 2 games versus the Braves on the 23rd and 24th. We are going against Huascar. I hope I said his name right. Huascar Inoa. He's a right-hand pitcher. He has a 4-2 record, 2.70 ERA, and 54 strikeouts. He will be facing the ever formidable to be determined. So we'll find that out tomorrow.
And, it might be Luis Gil. Luis Gil was supposed to start today, so I think that's what they were trying to figure out.
I feel like Luis Gil's name, is I don't know. I just feel like I've been saying his name a lot lately. It feels like he's like, yeah, it's a great thing, but it just feels like he's like, I don't know, but always the next one up. And then on August 24th, which FYI, folks, that's only a month before my birthday, so just wanted to throw that out there. August 24th, we're facing Charlie Morton. He's a right-hand pitcher. His record is 12-4. He's got a 3.47 ERA and 164 strikeouts. Also to be determined, so we'll see who he goes up again for that game.
Yeah, and Charlie Morton with the Rays used to get, and with the Astros, gave the Yanks a hard time for years now. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully they can touch him up in Atlanta. They got the 2-game series. I know they're off Wednesday, and then they are in 4-game series against Oakland, which is a huge series for the wild card. So we'll see about that. That was another one we were toying with making a road trip thing this year, but then decided we'll hold off on that one. But we went a little bit out of sequence.
I'm sorry. Wait, you just said road trip. That made me want to say something. Hey, Farachi, how you doing?
Do it.
Farachi, I noticed when we were playing the Royals, which we didn't really get to talk about this week because we had to take a week off, that the Negro League Museum is also located in the same town. And Ed's been there before, but I never have. And I feel like if you really want me to represent this show, I think we need to have an Empire 161 road trip. So just wanted to throw that out there, big producer. I have gotten us free promos, so I have been contributing to the team. It only feels right that our producer contributes as well. So, just think about it. Just think about it. Next year, it might be nice. So just wanted to throw that out there. I want some Kansas City barbecue. I want to go see the Negro League Museum. I think that would be a really great. I think we would have a really great podcast for that. So I just had to throw that out there. You guys shoot your shots, right?
Listen, I am the wheels are turning now because we know somebody who lives in my house that's not me is from Kansas City, and
Yep.
we're going there for a Giants Chiefs game later this year. But maybe we will do something where we'll probably end up going to Kansas City again. So maybe we can make you can come along and go ahead and you can see where Angie's from. We can get you some barbecue. We can make it a whole thing. We can go live on Facebook from there and do it like step by step here. And wow. Tim is jumping in here too. He wants to go to the museum and a road trip too. Wow, Tim. Listen,
it's a team reunion, Tim. It's a team reunion.
Get Jerry in there too. Jerry hasn't been to Kansas City yet. Let's make it all four of us. We'll do a 4-person show. We'll do all of it. Anyone who's done Empire 161. We're all there. All right, so why don't we actually went a little bit out of sequence. We will do our awards of the week. So top of the heap, which is our hitter of the week award. Lisa, you want to start off?
I will start off. So I do want to say that because I had been preparing for the show for the last 2 weeks, Aaron Judge was my original hitter of the week. I could stay with him. I'm going to skip who I actually picked because I feel like that's going to be your pick. So I'm going to give my special shout out and then just confirm when you say who yours was that was probably mine too. But I'll let you give that person's numbers. My special shout out is to my fellow Boricua, my primo, Andrew Squid Velasquez. My friend had his first career home run. He had 6 RBIs, 4 runs, 6 hits, and a triple over the last week. That may not sound like a whole bunch when you're talking about some of the other folks that could be on that list, but I had to shout him out. I'm just so happy with what he's been doing. I could also shout out my boost, Giancarlo Stanton, but I'm not going to be greedy and name all the names on the Yankees. And who was your hitter of the week? Who was your top of the heap?
So I'm going to say this right now. I knew that's where you were going. I knew this is exactly how it was going to play out, and I'm sure you're going to say the same right now. Come on, it's Luke Voigt, man. I mean, come on. Luke! So Luke Voigt.
Button your button, Luke. That's all.
Luke, you do whatever you want with your button. If you keep on hitting like this, no, not a problem on my end. In the last 7 games, he is hitting 500 with a 536 on-base percentage. These are softball numbers. He had a 962 slugging percentage. He was 13 for 26, 3 homers, 13 RBIs, and only 5 strikeouts over that point, which is good, and then 7 runs scored. So Luke Voigt is my top of the heap for this week. Man, he was just crushing, man. It's bananas. And by the way, now one game, I forgot what was it. I think it was Friday night. He actually had the water bottles, and he smashed them together like Austin, and he did the whole thing. I'm like, finally, somebody got him the damn water bottles.
Yeah, there was actually a really great picture somebody took of him smashing the water bottles and the water coming all over the place.
Yeah.
Another moment where it was like pure joy in that picture. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that was a great picture. He was also my top of the heap, but I wanted you to do the shine.
Okay. So King of the Hill, our pitcher of the week. I was really close to going with Chad Green. Really close to going with Chad Green, but I went with Garrett Cole. Listen, he had 2 starts. In his last 2 starts, he went ahead and picked up both wins, going 2-0, and 11 2/3 innings, giving up only 7 hits, 1 earned run, and 2 walks over that period of time, and 15 strikeouts. Mm-hmm. So Garrett Cole doing what Garrett Cole does, coming back and dominating right off the COVID IL. Maybe dominated COVID as well. I wouldn't be surprised. So, Lisa, who do you got? Who's your king of the hill of the week?
Same as you. Once again, we are on the same wavelength this time around. Yeah, Garrett Cole was my pick too. The two stats that I have that you didn't call out were his ERA is for this week was a .077, and his opponent's batting average is a 167. So
Nice.
that's just bananas. I will say this too, because I did do 2 weeks worth of prep. Last week, my pitchers of the week were the bullpen. I couldn't decide on one particular person. I wanted to just shout out the entire bullpen for picking up the slack. With several of our starters out on both the COVID and the regular IL list, they've been providing all the innings. They've been keeping us in games as much as possible, and they're just readily pulling through for us. And it really helped out a lot when we had so many of our starters go on the COVID IL, and then Aroldis Chapman on the regular IL. So also really wanted to shout out the bullpen for that, because we've had numerous people save games over the last few weeks. Whether it's one pitch, one out, or just a couple of innings of play, they've really come through.
Yeah, no, I didn't know.
The whole team has come through, really, not just the bullpen.
Yeah, no, but that's a great point. The bullpen has been stepping it up. I know sometimes it can be a little rattling and stuff like that, and it can be a little bit crazy. It doesn't have to be so clean. It's not always Mariano Rivera, where you can kind of just take a nap and that's it and game over. But they really have stepped up. Loaiza's closed out games, Litke, Abreu, Green. No, you're right. And then Chapman's back now, so they can, with the confidence in these other relievers, they can work his way back in and ease him back into it, and just hopefully keep on rolling here.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So I think that pretty much kind of does it for us for this week. We will be back next week. And there we go. That's usually the sign that it is. So thanks for joining us tonight, whether it was on the Facebook stream, whether if it was on Instagram or YouTube or Twitter, or if you're joining us on the audio-only version, wherever you found your podcast. Thank you for the support. If you want to go ahead and check out some more stuff, you're on Facebook. Join our Empire 161 Show Facebook group. We share highlights and scores and all of that stuff. Daily, you can join in the conversation. Me and Lisa are always posting stuff and asking questions and things like that. So check that out. Join the daily conversation instead of just once a week. If you're on YouTube, go to Pop Culture Pros, where you probably found us tonight. So just hit the subscribe button. Check out our playlist. We got a bunch of shows up there from past episodes, and we'll have some future ones. On Twitter, go ahead. Follow me at EKMus23 on Twitter. Go ahead. I'll share some Yankee stuff too. Follow Farachi. Follow everybody. Pop Culture Pros, all of it. We got a lot of cool shows in Pop Culture Pros. We got Granny's Peach Tea, if you like comic book stuff. It's me and Jason and Tony. We'll be back Wednesday night with our show. If you're a Mets fan, you can check out the Put It in the Book show. And thanks for watching this show also and listening. If you're into wrestling, check out Tim and Eric on Tuesday nights. They have theirs as well. And there we go. Adjusted. So then if you like movies, you can go ahead and check out the Kyle and Jader show. They do weekly movie reviews as well. So, Lisa, enjoy the night. Hopefully, I think the worst of the storm has passed us. We're with you, and we'll see everybody next week. All right, let's go Yankees. Keep it rolling.
All right, everybody. Have a good week. Thank you all.